Actually, I forgot to do my cheesy intro that I was going to do. What the heck? It's Owen Beck! Thank you for humoring me with that, by the way, Owen. So, so in regards to the last year, it's been a pretty big whirlwind for you, man. Starting with the draft. So you were the first pick in the second round. You talked about the nervousness about, having to wait even for that moment, but tell us what it was like when that happened at the Bell Center.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a long night. Not a ton of sleep that night, and I was kind of really not sure where I was going to end up the next day. I've said it a million times. I had no idea that the Habs had as much interest in me as they did. So, I was kind of just playing around with the Wi-Fi in the Bell Center and just trying to make sure I'm connected and whatnot. And I heard Montreal's on the clock. Didn't think much of it because again I didn't have much of an idea. And then I heard from the Mississauga Steelheads, Owen Beck, and my brother was the first one to kind of clue in. He went nuts, and then my whole family was like, "What?" They all got hugs with everybody, and made my way down to the Habs table, threw on the jersey and hat, and it was the coolest moment of my life at that point.
Once you were what was your first impression of Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon, and all the staff of the Canadiens?
Yeah, I mean, they really covered their bases throughout the draft process, held their cards close to their chest, and I think they did a really good job with the picks they made, and I think it's going to be a really good future for the organization, and that kind of just continued throughout training camp and all that, and so I mean they left a really good impression on me, and I'm happy to be a part of that organization.
You got to play with Slafkovsky in the rookie showcase. I don't know if you just want to talk about Slav, Mashar, any of the guys that you were picked with, but what was that like playing with those guys?
Yeah, it was impressive. I didn't know a lot about Slav coming in, and when I got my first taste of playing with him, it was pretty crazy how a guy like that and is so skilled. It's kind of flies under the radar in his game. As he tries to be a power forward, but I mean it was impressive the skill on him so it was a lot of fun playing with him. It made my life easy.
What did you notice about, whether it was Slav or anybody else, in terms of just, what was the experience like? Everyone's trying to impress everybody else, right? So how did you because you seem to stand out in terms of just, you were doing your job, you were focusing on what you could do best. So how do you, focus on being at your first rookie camp and just trying to do what you do best?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's, all the staff in the organization had their eyes on all the guys playing, and everybody's really just trying to play their best hockey, and a lot of the time that'll come out of everybody, and it was really high pace, high intensity, a lot of passion in those games, and everybody was playing for a contract or roster spot, whatever it may be, and so definitely a high paced game, and really fun to play in.
What was it like actually getting that first contract offer and signing it with your name and the Montreal Canadiens on it?
Yeah, it was pretty unbelievable. I mean, I knew I had a pretty decent camp up to that point, and so it was just not like they don't have to. Essentially, the way the contracts work, they don't have to sign you until New Year's Eve or whatever to save a year on your signing bonus in terms of cap space or whatever. Just for them to kind of move that up the 3 months, to reward the hard work and success I was having, really meant a lot, and just signing that contract just meant so much to me, and I was really happy, really excited, and was really looking forward to the future at that point.
Now, we'll talk about the World Juniors in a second, because I'm sure everybody has asked you what it's like to play with Bedard, who we're hoping that the Canadiens will have a shot at him still. Maybe we'll just start with him and just what you saw from him, not just him but the whole team, and the experience of just getting that call up to Team Canada.
Yeah, I mean, in the training camp or the selection camp was my first experience of Bedard face to face, and it was unbelievable seeing how he could turn the best players at 18, 19 into what look like minor hockey players. Really, he's unbelievably skilled, very smart. He's an offensive weapon, and any team, like whoever gets him is going to be more than happy with their pick.
Now, I wonder if your head spins when you think about all this, because it all happened in such a short amount of time. You get drafted by the Canadiens, you go to your first rookie camp, first training camp, first Team Canada camp, you sign your first contract, you win a gold medal, and then you play your first NHL game. So does that make your head spin when you think about all that happening?
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a really crazy year, and I really need to take the time to just almost get my mind off it, right? Because it seems just to be sitting in my head constantly, and so I mean, we got a playoff run here in Peterborough that we're trying to muster up here. So we were I kind of need to get my mind focused on that, and maybe I'll take some time after the season, after the playoff run, to really think about it all and just soak it all in, and appreciate the year I've had.
What do you do to unplug? I'm just curious, like, what's something about Owen Beck's personality, whether it's your sense of humor, favorite movie, music, whatever it is, what do you do to unplug and not think about hockey? What's another passion of yours?
I try to pick up the guitar here and there and learn some songs. I should really be a little bit more dedicated to it than I am. I think it's a really good way to, disconnect my mind and get it focused on something entirely different. Challenge myself in a different way. So, I've done it, a little bit here and there over the season when I have time. I really want to try to do it more. As the playoffs roll on, the pressure mounts, and just something to take my mind off everything once in a while.
Just describe the rookie skate. My friends with Kyle Bukowskis from Sportsnet, he gave us a great rinkside view of your rookie skate. So I'm just curious, from your vantage point, what that's like walking out. Or I know it wasn't the Bell Center, but what was it like for your rookie skate? Just describe the whole experience.
Yeah, I was sitting in the tunnel with my helmet off, and just counting down the seconds until I'm going on, and as soon as I start moving, I'm just thinking, don't trip on something, don't step on a puck, don't catch an edge, don't fall, and try and keep the pucks in the air and not rip a worm burner across the ice. So it was unbelievable. My parents and friends and family were really proud of me. Super excited to see that, and definitely, I know they changed the no helmet rule in warm up recently, but having them let me go without a helmet for the first couple laps was unbelievable.
Well, I said I wouldn't keep you too long, and you stayed longer doing more than one interview tonight. So I just want to thank you for the time, obviously. And this is a moment in your journey. I got a Nick Suzuki jersey on, by the way. You mentioned, I do want to ask you about him if I can, just for a second, because he was down the hall years ago. I got the chance to speak with him as well before his whole journey started. Now he's the captain of the Canadiens. Yeah. The Canadiens even just got Guryanov, and they're immediately welcoming him in. And can you just talk about the kind of captain, and even in a short time, that you see Nick Suzuki being and becoming? Yeah,
I mean, I knew him a little bit from training camp, obviously, and he's a very quiet, stoic guy, and so it was kind of, I don't want to say unexpected, but very classy of him to reach out and be that outgoing and welcoming and everything. And it was great. Great experience, and I think Montreal is a really good captain going forward.
Okay, I lied. One more question. I'm just curious, when you were in the dressing room with the Canadiens, was there anybody in the room that just kind of came up and gave you a quick word, like enjoy it, have fun? Like, who gave you some advice that you can think of?
Yeah, I think really everybody. I mean, they were all, obviously, your first game's a big moment, and everybody, has been there at one point. And they were all just saying, have fun, enjoy it, play your game, that kind of thing, and just wishing me the best.
Okay, so that's it. I'm not going to take any more questions with Owen Beck here, but you were sincerely generous with your time, man. So I just want to thank you once again. And like everybody keeps saying, all the best. We're happy to have you in Montreal, and we know you're going to do well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. I can only imagine it's obviously been a whirlwind for you, starting with, the draft, and then you go right into world. Or I'm going to start that again. Sorry.